I think the justice system just might be the biggest scam yet. Yeah, in fact, that statue with a blindfold needs to be given a medicated glasses instead because justice clearly sees money. It does. It actually does. You mean two people can commit the same crime, and because one person can afford a better lawyer, his life gets to be different, and the other one gets to have a completely opposite of that? That is crazy. That is crazy. Look at the world we live in. Is the world we live in a just world at all? Could you beat your chest and say that this is a just world we live in? Yes, the good are getting justice for the things that the bad people are doing to them. Could you really say that about the world we live in today? No. I mean, unless you're part of the people who make the rules, unless you're part of the people who make the laws, then you can bend the law. Aside of that, you're nothing. You're just a pawn on the chessboard made to carry out the activities of those lawmakers so they can get rich, because that is what it is at the end of the day. There is no such thing as a blindfold on that justice system. Take for example the case for R. Kelly was charged with what number of things, right? And he's in prison today. And we have Donald Trump and Elon Musk who were directly linked to the Epstein files, and these men are still out living their best lives. I mean, isn't that crazy? By the way, P. Diddy, mind you, P. Diddy, who is in jail today, is not in jail for the crimes he committed. He is in jail because he stepped on the wrong foot or pissed off, in Patrick Bet-David's word, the wrong people. Who are those wrong people? He pissed off. So you mean that if P. Diddy hadn't pissed those people off, we wouldn't even know the crimes P. Diddy committed if he hadn't stepped on the wrong foot? That is crazy. So imagine the number of people who are roaming about with all these skeletons in their closet that we know absolutely nothing about. And I think the Epstein file, by the way, was released as a distraction from certain things going on. They want to divert people's attention, so they had to, because if they didn't want to release the Epstein file, they wouldn't. That's just the truth. They would not. So I think the justice system is biased to favor those in power. It is biased to favor people with money. You have money, oi, your case, we can do something about that, you know. It won't have as much ramification as someone without money. Well, come to think of it, if I am a lawmaker and I have properties, corporations, and influence, would I make laws to protect my properties and their corporations that serve my interest and my influence, or will I make laws that jeopardize that? Of course I'm going to make laws that are going to protect my assets. Of course I'm going to make laws that are going to be in my own interest. Not you. Most definitely. Why will I shoot myself in the leg? Why will I point a gun at my feet and shoot myself in the leg? Does it make any sense? So how is justice if it causes inconvenience for one person and for another person it becomes a life-threatening issue? Why is justice not convenient for everybody if it's supposed to be neutral? For a poor man, justice can be a life-threatening issue because he doesn't have money to pursue proceedings, right? While for the rich man, justice is just inconvenience. Just inconvenience. That's all justice is. It's just like a drop of water in an ocean, literally, for the amount of money you have to set out. If justice was blind, shouldn't it be neutral to all parties? Shouldn't everyone be at ease in pursuing justice for oneself? Shouldn't one be at ease? Why should justice be a life-threatening issue because I don't have money? Oh, I don't even have money to sue you for the bad you did to me. I don't have money for a lawyer. You do. So automatically it means you win. You're the winner of the case, right? Is that really justice? That's not justice. That's not justice. That is bias. That is making sure certain people are being kept in a certain place while the other people get to walk off, you know. What a world we're living. What a world we're living. And I'm not saying that the justice system is completely useless. Of course, if there isn't a justice system, humanity is going to go into chaos, right? So preferably, it's even better to have a bad justice system than no justice system at all. So what are we left with? We're left with the lesser evil. That's all we have. We have the lesser evil. The world is not just. It's not. There are people in prison today who have no business being in prison. And there are people today who, just because they can't afford less than $10, they can't even build themselves out, and they are there rotting every day, dying for probably crimes that are not worth that amount of time to be spent in prison. That is my problem with the justice system. There is no justice. Just people trying to make money off other people. It's still a system. It's still a system. And of course, it's going to be unrealistic asking for a perfect system, knowing that humans are flawed. So it will be very difficult to find a perfect system that works perfectly. But it's like the justice system is comfortable with being structurally wrong as long as it maintains the look of certainty. Say, for example, it's certain that if you commit this crime, you do this time, you know, that kind of thing. But on the broader picture of things, if you don't have money, you're literally cooked. Because someone might do the crime, but if he has the money, he won't do the time. If he has the ability to hire a better lawyer, he won't do the time. And you who have no safety net of that person who has that money, you are going to end up doing more time than you're supposed to, or probably even worse, end up dead or something like that. And at least now I understand why wealthy people will tell you if you're going to steal money, make sure you steal a lot of money. Because to be honest, most wealthy people didn't become wealthy being honest people, right? Most people didn't become wealthy taking the safe route, so to say, taking the path that they carved out for you and I to follow. They did things that the average person will consider immoral, insanity, crazy, all different things like that. So they'll tell you if you want to steal money, make sure you steal it big, right? So when it's time to face this justice system, you can actually come out of it unstained. There is a politician in my country who stole trillions or looted trillions. What was his bill? 50 million. His bill was 50 million, bro. 50 million. Isn't that laughable? So that's my take. That's what I think about the justice system.